So liberals are predictably wasting very little time trying to create a political firestorm over Flynn stepping down. Let's be clear. It was wrong that Flynn misled the president and vice president about his phone call with a Russian ambassador. He owned up to it. He did the right thing. He stepped down. But there's something much bigger here and much darker going on, and that's been part of the alt-radical left and their master plan to damage and destroy the president, Donald Trump, and, frankly, as collateral damage, anyone connected to him. This is about the left willing to do anything to stop President Trump from draining the swamp and changing the status quo and all the bureaucracy in Washington. And that means the media bureaucracy, that means the liberal bureaucracy, the lobbyist bureaucracy, etc. The D.C. swamp is rising up. They're colluding and viciously fighting to take down the 45th president and his entire administration. It's that serious. Now, the alt-radical left is hell-bent on annihilating everybody around the president, from his top advisors like Kellyanne Conway, Steve Bannon, Reince Priebus, Steve Miller, even Dr. Sebastian Gorka, to even the president's own children, including the media's attacked his 10-year-old son.
Mike Flynn was already a very divisive and unusual choice for this job because it's kind of a consensus building position, and his background is really as a hothead. He's already a kind of a divisive force within this White House.
So, Stephen Miller, let's take you to class for a second here, because I know you didn't go to law school. I don't know what type of school you went to, but they certainly didn't teach you civics. You're unworthy to be in the White House. You're unworthy to be in government if that's what you believe, unless it's Vladimir Putin's government.
Saturday Night Live really did portray him just about as he is. I mean, he is an embarrassment even to Trump. And so I don't know how long he's going to last.
It's a stunning thing that a white supremacist, Bannon, would be a permanent member of National Security Council.
See this? One by one, in true Saul Alinsky form, the left and liberals in the mainstream media have been systematically going down the line of people close to President Trump and trying to take each and every one of them out. In Rules for Radicals, Alinsky explained exactly what we're seeing. Quote, pick the target, freeze it, personalize it, polarize it. Well, that's exactly what the left is doing, and now they smell blood in the water. And their ultimate target is, of course, the president himself, Donald Trump. That's why Democrats and the alt-radical left and the media have brought up the subject of impeachment already. Take a look.
Let's not forget that there wasn't just one call to the Russian ambassador. There were 5 calls to the Russian ambassador. Treason's greetings. General Flynn wasn't acting alone. He wasn't going rogue. He was doing what his boss ordered him to do. And as for the Flynn investigation, it's going to turn into Flynn impeachment sooner rather than later.
I have led in talking about impeachment. And some people say, well, it's too early for that. It's never too early if you understand how dangerous this man really is.
They might try to wipe all this communications but clean, but those communications exist. They exist, and they will come out. And once they come out, I guarantee you Republicans are not going to stand by when impeachment is put on the table.
You know, in 2008, before Obama was even elected, the guy that ultimately would become the ambassador to Russia, he actually went over there, visited, and talked to them. Impeachment of the president is clearly the end goal for the left. Facts, truth, doesn't really matter. Mike Flynn is just a small casualty of that bigger plan. Now, the left is trying to make what happened here into the next Watergate. But we have to remember that these are the same liberals who fiercely defended Hillary Clinton, ignored and defended the massive private server scandal. Remember, top secret and special access programming in the closet of a mom-and-pop shop bathroom. They ignored and defended the corruption, the pay-to-play at the Clinton Foundation. They ignored and defended Hillary Clinton's endless lies. And the left was also noticeably silent back in 2012 when President Obama, remember, he was caught on a hot mic saying this to the Russian Prime Minister to send a message to Vladimir. Remember this?
This is my last election for you. Yeah. And after my election, I have more flexibility. Yeah. And I transmit this information to Vladimir.
Yeah, tell Vladimir more flexibility. Don't tell the American people. That's selective moral outrage and hypocrisy of the worst kind. So what we're seeing playing out is what Eli Lake, who will be here in just a few minutes with reaction, described in an article earlier today entitled, quote, "The Political Assassination of Michael Flynn." Now, in it, Lake points out that it is so extremely rare for reporters to be told about government-monitored communications of private citizens which is what was leaked to the press about Flynn's call with a Russian ambassador. Lake then notes, quote, normally intercepts of U.S. officials and citizens are some of the most tightly held government secrets. This is for good reason. Selectively disclosing details of private conversations monitored by the FBI or the NSA gives the permanent state, the bureaucracy in other words, the power to destroy reputations from the cloak of anonymity. This is what police states do. Now, it's no secret that Flynn had a very rocky relationship with the national security establishment and members of the Obama administration. He's even said that he was previously forced out of the government for daring to speak up about the threat of radical Islam and questioning the narrative being put out by the Obama White House. Now, on top of that, the endless leaks about the Trump administration is so serious that the House Intelligence Committee chairman, Congressman Devin Nunes, is now asking the FBI to launch an investigation into where are these leaks coming from. And as our own Catherine Herridge reported earlier, when Flynn was asked if the leaks were targeted, coordinated, and a possible violation of the law, he said, quote, yes, yes, and yes. Now, nobody in the media is telling you that. Ever since Donald Trump ran for president, there's been this liberal witch hunt. They're salivating. There's a sense of urgency. Nobody connected to him is off limits. They want everybody. Even his 10-year-old son, the media has attacked. His daughter, Ivanka, going after a woman. She's been viciously attacked. And now there are boycotts against her clothing line. The media's gone after his son, Eric, and his charity, which has donated a lot of money, millions, to St. Jude's Children's Hospital and research. But after pressure, Eric was forced to shut it down. They even went after Don Jr.'s kid recently in New York about a school that he goes to. Now, those are just a few of the examples. Here now with reaction.